Well, it's getting to be a little later in November, but this is my last drive. It is definitely cold. It's going to be snowing maybe tomorrow or the next day, so it's time to put her away. So if I do one last drive, talk a little bit about what I've learned over the last few months and give you a chance to see what it looks like inside at night. I've always liked cars at night and the way that designers have used lighting and gauges. I remember as a kid sitting in the back seat and just watching the gauges of my dad's car as we drove, especially on the highway when everything else was dark. So we'll go for a little ride, our last ride, and then maybe I'll have one more video of what I'm going to do to winterize it and get it ready to sit for the next 5 months, maybe more. So anyhow, it's not snowing today. It's a little bit above zero. Which is, I don't know, 37, 38 Fahrenheit right now. So we'll go for a little 10-minute scoot and that'll be that. All right, last ride. I found driving in comfort has been pretty good. I don't know if I would get the Integra damper module. I'm not sure if I need to have any softer than comfort. It just kind of bugs me that Plus R is a little bit useless. So then it tempts me to get the Integra damper module. So I'm not too sure what I'll end up doing there. Everything's lit very nicely. All the buttons on the steering wheel are lit. All the buttons on the door panel are lit. Like that quite a bit. I do like this little red pinstripe in the door. That's, I'm pretty sure, just a Type R exclusive. I like that a lot. Getting into the car, it's a little dark. It does have nice lights in the footwell though that I can see right now, and if it's all red, it really glows quite a bit. But since I have the black high-walled rug mats, it tones that down quite a bit, so it's hard to see that light. When you get in, oddly, only this tiny little light on the dome light comes on. Not any of the map lights, which other cars I've had have had that as well, which helps with a bit of the light. There are, however, 2 tiny LEDs sitting in the overhead console, which do light the area around the shifter, so you can sort of see a little bit there, but not a lot. So that's well done. There is a light inside where the phone charging pad is. I have the charging pad off. I've never gone through my phone battery in one day ever, I don't think. So I know that lots of people complain about it getting far too hot, in fact getting so hot that the phone won't work. So thankfully there's an on-off switch. So if I really want to charge it, I can. If I don't want to, hit the little button. Our other car is on all the time, which really bugs me quite a bit. The lights on the temperature dials are great. One thing I don't like about it is that if you have an auto, you don't know where it's sending the air. And here, when it gets cold, you need to have it on the windscreen. Otherwise, it'll fog up. So often it'll choose to have it just in the middle vents or the lower vents, and meanwhile, you're fogging up. So then you have to change it. And then, is it still an auto? What's it still doing? Can I take the air conditioning on? Can I take the air conditioning off? So some of these things are kind of buried a little bit. And unless you fiddle around with it, you really don't know what it's doing in auto. I've owned other cars that have better ways of solving that problem. Currently I have it on automatic headlamps. I don't know if they're going to turn on in the city here, but they have before. And usually when you have auto on-off headlamps, you choose to have your brights on, and it'll turn them off when it senses other cars. That makes sense to me. This one's different in that you have to go into a menu, and then you have to choose actually to have this enabled, and then it just turns on and off whenever it wants to. So you can be in the middle of I don't know, a place where you don't want to have your brights on, and boom, they'll be on because it's dark in front of you. So it's bumps like these that are a little tough on even on the comfort setting. You know what? No car's perfect, and I do pick out little things here and there, but I really want people to understand that I really like the car. And sometimes when people hear like one negative thing or some minor griping, they go, oh, you know, maybe you should have got this car, or you should sell it, or, you know, buy the Integra, it's far better. Maybe there's some things I like about the Integra better, maybe the damper module. But I like the fact that this is all bespoke fenders. They're not tacked on, they're not glued on at all. I love that. I love the fact that there's very few of these around. I love the fact that it steers really well, and the shifter and the linkage is just fantastic for front wheel drive. It's close to S2000. My friend who owns an S2000 was super impressed. Again, I wish the car was a little smaller, but who would want to have a full-size Civic unless you want to carry your family around in a Type R? But most people buying this thing are buying it because it is a bit raw, and it is fun, and it has just everything works well together. The seat position and the shifter and the way it steers, the way the steering wheel thickness, and there's so many great things that I like about it. Sure, I'd like to have a few extra things different. Like today it was pretty cold. Having a heated seat would be nice. And for people that are driving this all year round, totally can see how that could be a big deal. As I said before, the back seat is very basic and utilitarian. I think it's basically from the lowest Civic model seat in terms of material, and to get in the back there, it's dark. There isn't, I mean, there's just that little dome light in the middle, so it's not very welcoming. Again, no heat vents back there, no USB ports. Whatever I put them in, I doubt it, because I don't think I'll have people back there very, very often. It's going to be kind of a waste of a back seat. So I really do wish, you know, it was a little different, a little smaller, but it is what it is, and I don't have the wherewithal to own a GT3 Porsche, because that probably would be perfect, or even a Cayman GT4. That again would be, you know, a lot smaller, rear-wheel drive, same kind of feeling. I have heard people say that the Civic Type R is basically what Porsche would build if they built a front-wheel drive car. I can take that. I can live with that. I have gone into individual, which gives me the Type R dash, which is very like S2000-esque, and it gives me the Type R exhaust, which is piped in, but it does give me the comfort dampers. And for those that know about Winnipeg, it's a bumpy place, and our roads really suck. And so, if I lived in Southern California, woohoo, that'd be a different story, and I probably would have it a bit more tightened up. But the lights are great. There are 2 LEDs on each side, which confuses some people. They think your brights are on, but when you do turn on your brights, the third in the middle LED turns on as well. So it's a whole bank of lights, and those are pretty good. But really, the low beams, I can't complain about them all. They're nice to cut off, and they're bright. And I don't want to, you know, blind people, but these kinds of lights are tough, especially if you're going over bumps towards people or dips, and everyone thinks you're trying to blind them. But they are very, very good. What, wanting more lights in here? Nope. I think it's just about right. And one of the last things I want to talk about is that when you have the dial to do down the dash lights, the light in the, oh yeah, and it has also lights underneath the mirror for the home link, which I've just opened up. Garage door. And when you use the dial to turn down the dash, everything turns down. I've had some cars where it didn't turn down the main screen on the dash. So that's that. Tomorrow I think I'm putting it away. I'll do a tiny video about what I do to winterize the car. Thanks for watching.